23.
Hey,
Now,
Kiama.
I'm doing this to
Okay. Let's see. I think I saw Kiama come in, but I don't see her on now. Oh, there she is.
Hello,
Okay.
can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, one moment. We just want to turn you up a little louder.
Sure.
Can you speak one more time?
Yes. Can you hear me okay? I usually talk plenty loud for people.
There you go.
Okay, now we hear you.
Great. I was just having, some technical teams technical difficulties earlier today. So I can definitely relate. Let me pull up the presentation and get this here. And so a lot to get through, guys. Thanks. I have a few people on the call, make some introductions briefly, and then everyone will we'll talk in just a minute. They can just say hello, and they'll come in at the appropriate time. So first, I have Jeffrey from WSI. Jeffrey, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Say anything you like.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I've been with WSI for 14 years. I'm our marketing systems manager. So I take care of our partnerships like with HubSpot, and I'm there to support people like Bob and his clients whenever they need help with anything regarding to any of our big suppliers.
Great. Thanks, Jeffrey. And then Fayez, I'll let you introduce yourself. I think Abhishek might be on, but I'll let you kind of take the lead, go and introduce both of you maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, so Abhishek and me, we're both from One Metric. So One Metric is a HubSpot elite partner. So that's like top 1% of all the HubSpot partner agencies across the globe. So we usually come in at the same spot where people are trying to make a move and switch CRMs and start their journey with HubSpot, right? So we help them with very customized onboarding, making sure that the setup is done as per their needs. And then, making sure that we are setting you up for success.
Thanks, Fayez. And so I'll have Fayez and Jeffrey will both be going over their roles a little bit more into the presentation. So we'll kind of talk about that and what that entails and kind of get into some of the details. And just to let everyone know, expectations. So we're, kind of going in as I see it from, I'm kind of inside MSI and I'm kind of outside MSI and what I see from a business need. And I've kind of conveyed that to the teams here, and they've come back to us with some estimates. And they have some things that they'll talk about, getting more into some details of how that could change possibly. But we're just trying to get some rough estimates, and then we can. The next step would be if we move forward, then we'll have a kickoff meeting to really get into the details. And then we can deliver a final proposal knowing exactly what needs to be done. And MSI might come up with other things, right? So just wanted to give that expectation to the teams. Everything makes sense so far?
Yeah, I'm still a little confused, and I know you've tried, Bob, to clarify it with the roles. Like, what's the difference between WSI and One Metric? One Metric. One Metric is an elite HubSpot partner. And so what's WSI's role?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's slightly confusing, I'll admit. So admit so I gotta admit somebody. That's my voice said admit. So as far as there kind of have we're a couple we're a few entities here. So push marketing is pretty straightforward. What we do, WSI. I've been in the WSI network for I don't know 7-8 years now, and I kind of like to look at it like a trade show. I'm sorry, a trade association, but they're more than that because they bring in like partners for us as an agency to like we're not HubSpot setting up HubSpot experts, right? But so WSI vets HubSpot partners and brings them onto their team, and then I can utilize them and then give them, bring them on to help out like customers like you, right? MSI to help implementation, right? So WSI, and then WSI has a bigger role than that I just described. That's just part of it. They support me. They also bring in vendors, and there's another part of the equation that we'll talk about. But hopefully that kind of gives you like a big picture. WSI is a, they're kind of like the intermediary between me and One Metric, you could say. They're kind of like in the middle, right? They, vet people for me to use, right? And they support me to support you, ideas and education, that sort of thing. So does that make sense, Al, on that?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit more. Jeffrey will talk a little bit later, and then Fayez will talk a little bit, and you'll kind of understand their roles as we move forward. So just the overview, I think everybody on the call here is kind of familiar with what we're trying to do. Segmented email marketing, advertising for 10 channel partners, calling them CP moving forward. We want to automate the lead routing with marketing, and get sales and team sales team follow-ups possibly on these lead scoring activities that happen, right? So we'll automate that process. For the channel partner conversion attribution, we want to know by channel, okay, what's happening via email, Google ads, meta ads. We want to put together reporting for MSI so they understand that. And then the goal, MSI gets what we call marketing funnel visibility from, maybe it might be multiple touch points, emails, ads, social media, right? Where are these people coming in to MSI's funnel with engagement and with conversions, these channel partners. So, and then now what I want to do is I might have Jeffrey kind of pop in a little bit and talk about WSI's role. So why don't you go ahead, Jeffrey, I'll give you a few minutes.
So with WSI's role, so when it comes to HubSpot partners, there's two types of partners really. There is the partner which helps works out the best deal for the client, helps pick up the products that they need, works as the intermediary between HubSpot and the client. Then there's the other type of HubSpot partner, which is an implementation partner. So both partners have different kinds of certifications you have to do and stuff like that. That's why there's One Metric. One Metric is an implementation partner. They handle all the builds for HubSpot. They'll train on how to use HubSpot like for the end client. That's where their specialty is, right? They're there to help support the back end and the build and that part of the process. Where our role is to help Bob. We are like a trade association. So Bob belongs to us. We work out deals with big partners like HubSpot, Google, Zoom, stuff like that. And we help connect those kind of vendors to Bob and his clients that might need those services like HubSpot. What I also do is I'm certified with HubSpot as a partner, as a part of the partner program. I'm also certified as an implementation partner myself. So all these certifications you need to keep doing every year to keep being a partner with HubSpot. If you don't have these certifications, you can't be a partner. And and these certifications take hours and hours and hours to do. And where we are able to help too is to get you a better deal. So if you went to HubSpot directly yourself, you would have to pay an implementation fee, like an onboarding fee, which is like $7,000. Going through Bob, who works with us, that gets waived automatically. If you want to go with HubSpot, you don't have to pay that. We are able to also work on the pricing for you. So that's where we can go to HubSpot and say, hey, they want this. What can you give us for pricing? And we can actually negotiate with them. So it's a little different from going straight to them, where they might say, well, we'll give you this. Well, you pay annually. Okay, we'll take off like 5%. We differ there, where we can try to get a better price through HubSpot because we do a lot of sales with them and we're partners with them. So that's where we can get more of a percentage off depending on how many seats you want. Also, the time of year. There's different levers we can pull, and then also our relationship with them to try to get you a better price, so you don't have to pay that normal price you see online. Also, with going with us, you also get connected to partner support. That's a big difference. With anybody else or with going directly to HubSpot, say you had a question or you need help with something, you submit a ticket. You got to wait 48 to 72 hours before they'll respond back to you. By going with us and Bob, you automatically get access to partner support right away. Bob can actually call in, give his partner number, and right away he gets somebody on the phone saying, hey, they need help with this campaign, or they need help with this or something like that. They're able to help Bob right away. Or Bob can submit a ticket, and within an hour, 2 hours, within a day, he'll get a response. So he has more access to getting support right away if you need support. Also, he gets access to new stuff that comes out with HubSpot. So when HubSpot's always rolling out new add-ons, like there's one for like spam. So if someone's filling out forms and you want to stop the spam, HubSpot rolled out something like that. Since you're connected to Bob, you get free access to that right away. Other people have to wait till they're done, like 6 months into trying it out. You'll be able to get access right away. It turns on, you can use that. So there's advantages of going with WSI to help to get you a good deal, and that's where we play our part. And we also there to help support Bob and bring in partners like OneMetric, which we vet other HubSpot implementators to try to find somebody who's really good at what they do, and OneMetric's really good. So that's why we brought them into our network to help Bob and other people who are in our network implement HubSpot.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for that explanation. So Jeffrey, last year in 2025, how many HubSpot implementations did your company broker?
With that one, we did quite a few. And when we do these HubSpot implementations, most of the ones we did were really big. So to give an example, one we did in this December of last year was a big oil company. So they're international. So they run in Mexico, Canada, and US. They're a $1 billion company, and they needed help with HubSpot, and they came to someone in our network they said, hey, you're already helping us with certain stuff like our website. Can you help us with HubSpot? We need a better CRM. And yeah, he helped with that. We got better pricing for them. And to give an example of the pricing they got, we were able to get them maybe a 20% discount of what somebody else was quoting them for HubSpot. And the client was so happy about it. They saved a ton of money. But to give exact numbers, I would have to look up that. But we did a high volume of sales last year.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what was the last comment?
We did quite a few sales last year, like a lot of volume. I would have to check to actually see the exact numbers, but we did. We helped out a lot of our partners with getting HubSpot deals.
But you think it was more than 10?
More than 10, way more than 10.
Okay. And then how many implementation companies like OneMetric have you used, or did you use last year? Is it multiple companies?
We mostly use OneMetric for all of our stuff. We have one partner in our network. He does it himself internally. He has his team, but we usually go with OneMetric to do any of the implementations.
Got it.
And OneMetric could probably get into how many implementations they've done as well. When I'll get to them here shortly. Let them chime in on that. Any more questions, Al, before I move on?
No, I like to also understand, like you said, Bob, from FIAS and OneMetric, a little bit about their exposure to HubSpot.
Yeah,
How
they're in the
how
top.
long have you- Yeah,
Go ahead.
how long have you guys been doing implementations for HubSpot?
Yeah, I mean,
Let me go ahead.
yeah, Robert, you want to talk?
Yeah, I got this. I'm going to go right to your portion, and yeah, do go and discuss with what else I'm asking, and we can
If you want to
get into
cover it, if you
detail.
want to cover it later, that's fine. I'm just trying to understand it, however you want to do it.
Why don't you start with the implementations that you've done? Maybe answer. Go ahead and just touch on that. Then we'll maybe go back to the. I'll go back and then I'll kind of have you come in a little bit. So go ahead and mention. And let's go with that question. Then we'll kind of go back to the presentation.
Yeah, I mean, so in terms of, we have been around for more than 6 years now, right? And then we started, HubSpot is, it sits at the center of whatever we do, right? So, I mean, the way we like to introduce ourselves is, we all our services basically falls into 3 different buckets, right? The first one we call it Rev Tech. When I say Rev Tech, this is more around, going deep into HubSpot, making sure that we are customizing it as per your business needs. All the workflows, automations, whatever we built is very tailored to how you operate as a business, right? So that's anything that goes around tech, be it integrations, multiple tools, whatever a business use. We come in, we make sure that all these tech stacks really talk to each other, right? And then making sure that all these different departments, be it sales or marketing or customer service, they have this unified platform that they can rely on, right? So everything that goes around tech, different tools, we come in, make sure we are integrating the entire system, all of the tools together. In terms of our experience, we have done more than, I'll say, 800 projects, and these are, like a mix of enterprise clients, B2B SaaS companies, real estate, end products, right? So we have done a mixed bag of a lot of these projects ranging from, let's say, companies that, let's say, around maybe 20 to 50 folks and going up to, let's say, 500 to more than 1,000 employees, right? So we do have experience in pulling off enterprise implementations as well, where, there are multiple stakeholders involved. There's marketing team, sales team. We do a lot of discoveries with each of these folks. And then another edge that we take proud in letting people know is that we just don't come in from, let's say, only with the tools perspective. We have those people in house whom we call, let's say, solutions architect, people who can really understand sales processes, marketing processes, and then translate that into HubSpot language, right? So we go deep into discoveries. Like I said, tailor the entire implementation as per your use case, making sure that HubSpot is running as per your business and not the other way around, right? So I'll take a pause there and see if you have any follow-up questions.
You said 800 HubSpot projects or just 800 projects as a company, different platforms?
No, 800 HubSpot projects, more than 800 in fact.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, Bob, you can go into the presentation now. Do you guys have any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right, yeah, you can go into the presentation, Bob.
All right, thanks, Al. So let's kind of buzz through it, make sure we get everybody. Try to stay on my time limit for everyone. So yeah, we kind of talked about the visibility on conversions. We talked about WSI's role, push marketing. Kind of like the
Bob,
intermediary.
Bob,
Go ahead.
Bob, are you supposed to be sharing something or no?
Yeah, I haven't been sharing anything the whole time.
Yeah, no, you have not.
Okay. Well, you guys have been missing on some good stuff, Val. Let me get this up 1 second. Let's see, share. Okay. All right, let me get
There
back.
you go. There you go.
Okay, so we missed the overview, segmented email marketing, advertising. We're going for the 10 channel partners. We want to get automated channel partner lead routing with the marketing sales team follow-up. conversions. We want to be able to attribute the conversions for channel partners by channel, email, Google Ads, Meta Ads, and then just visibility on what's happening with your marketing, on your emails, ads, and how that equates to channel partner engagement and conversions, okay? We talked about, Jeffrey covered all these things with how WSI works with their vendor vetting, partner support, cost negotiation. So sorry I didn't have that up to kind of reinforce what he was saying. And this is where I was just going to start talking about push marketing's role, okay? So just confirm that everything lines up. You know, we put together a good team with MSI, very capable, One Metric, WSI, all together. Just confirm that we have alignment for you know, what we're trying to do. I want to be the bridge between MSI, One Metric to segment your channel partner audiences. I'm going to plan to gather individual content for all your channel partners to develop buyer personas. Like, what are they looking for? What are their pain points, their interests? What do they want to see, right? Not just our products. We understand that a flooring retailer only wants to see flooring products, but really, what are they looking for in a vendor? What's going to pique their interest, right? So those are things that we want to understand and give that to MSI and the team that's you know, developing things that they kind of understand, and we'll do that research on MSI's behalf. We'll kind of be in charge of kind of overseeing everything, making sure that everything's working properly with the implementation, make sure that we're aligning with marketing, sales, getting those notifications out, and then again back to that reporting to tie the attribution to you know, and conversions to where they come from, right? What part of the process?
Hey, 1 second, Bob, can you go back?
Sure.
I know we've talked about this, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. So the CRM tool, we're just going to use it from a marketing perspective. You know, we're not going to turn on the sales perspective.
No, we're not. No, but if you want to notify sales, sorry to interrupt. If you want to notify sales, not sales at all. But like, you might want to notify sales if something happened, right? Like if you had like somebody did 5 actions on a website, like, hey, send a salesperson over to this guy, right? Like, it could be emailed to somebody in sales without being or just in marketing, and you could contact sales, however you want that to work, right? WSI has to work with their. Does that make sense? What I meant?
Yeah, it's more
Yes.
lead generation that would be turned over to sales.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, got it. Okay, keep going.
Makes sense. And so database, you know, some other details and put together some rough numbers on what we think this, you know, kind of estimating what this would take, right? Taking your database, organizing it, getting it, you know, that we can segment by channel partner, and then things that we can't, that we're going to have to maybe try to do some specialty things. If we have to do specialty things, we have to talk about it. But how we would do that, but we could run it through AI. We could try to get some things done to figure out who they are. But once we put it into HubSpot, it's going to segment it for us automatically. It might take time, but it'll automatically go through that and do that segmentation, okay? So database is one thing. We talked about gathering the assets on your channel partners. I assume MSI has more detail on channel partners than just what's out on the website. So kind of gathering all that, personas, kind of putting it all together for everybody to understand. Third thing, developing those personas and those corresponding email templates for every channel partner, what that might look like, maybe like a initial rough draft of what one might look like. And what I was planning on for support, a third column, MSI Creative, that your team, already have that, right? So I want to try to utilize MSI. I'm going to need MSI's input for everything. But as far as where can the creative for sure, right? So what's planning on that would be done with your team. And I would kind of just rough it out as we've done things in the past like that. Okay.
How many email templates, Bob? How many email templates do you foresee in this charge?
I was figuring
How many
10 now.
Also,
I was
10
figuring-
personas plus 10 email templates?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Bob,
And-
I've got a question. Hey, Bob, this is Jess. I've got a question.
Hey, Jeff.
So so you have MSI Creative, it looks like, the email templates will be set up in Photoshop. Why wouldn't we just set them up inside, HubSpot?
It's possible that is done, but as far as like your creative people, typically like they're going to give us like a draft of what that's going to look like. Then we would convert it to HubSpot. So it can be either way, but typically, like graphic designers, they're going to typically design outside, and then we would technically take that and bring that into HubSpot for you.
So you're just looking more for like concept or look and feel, right?
Exactly.
Or the way you would
Not
want it to
content.
look.
Exactly. And like I'll put together a rough thing that and you get your feedback on it for each persona and say, yeah, it looks like you're on the right track, Bob, or hey, we need to do something else. But again, just get something in there. Then you guys are going to be every time, like you're already doing. What is it that you want to say, what you want to do? I just want to try to get something that's foundational, right? And then MSI is going to be doing the real work, right? What I do is probably won't even be, for look and feel. I think is a good, and some ideas of what it might say, right? But it's not going to be anything in reality that you're going to send out. If that makes sense.
Hey, Bob, it's Sharita.
Hi, Sharita.
Just one follow-up question to that. So would this be considered more of like a custom template, or are you still planning to kind of leverage HubSpot's templates that they have there?
No, we are planning on leveraging HubSpot. So we will go in and see what's available and what we can, what we can do with it. That'd be something that we need to get into and start looking into what that capabilities are and how MSI can leverage it, right? So I'll need to get in there and kind of figure out the best way to do that. And we can do that together. I can kind of figure it out and come back to you and say, this is what I'm thinking. Or if you have some ideas, I'm happy to listen, obviously. This is all going to be collaborative, guys. So I'm planning on weekly meetings of discussing and having us all kind of come together. So, to make sure it's, like I say, weekly, and what are we doing, right? What are we trying to get done, right? I want the team's feedback, right? And to hear what you guys want and thoughts. So hopefully that makes sense.
Bob, I also have a question. I know we'll probably look at this more in the future, but when it comes to using Photoshop to design, wouldn't it be a little bit more time consuming instead of using the drag and drop feature in HubSpot? And then also when we want to use dynamic content blocks, could that be an issue too, if we're designing in Photoshop?
Well, again, I think the Photoshop is just for, like, typically a graphic designer. He or she's going to want that. It's kind of their familiar platforms. I just put Photoshop there. It could be whatever creative platform they want to use, right? And
that
just to
makes
get that
sense.
look and feel, right? And then we'll take it and we're going to transfer what they do and try to take what we can out of it. And like the heading, maybe there's some footers, images are going to kind of go here, right? And they give us like a framework, and then we're going to put it into HubSpot. And then that's going to be switched out every time, right? You're going to be doing that.
Okay.
And just a look and
That
feel.
makes
I
a
think
lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and they could use whatever tool they want. Just something they could show us a PDF, however they want to show us a PDF, what they come up with, right? And you guys approve it. And so that was the creative. Did I go workflows? I'll be kind of spending time with everyone. The responsibility on that, I'm on the 4th line right now, guys. Push marketing, MSI, one metric. We're going to be talking about workflows and triggers and what type of activities, who's going to be notified, that sort of thing. Had some time for that. Figuring that we would, that we may not need this, right? What we're talking about, even converting to HTML. Maybe the PDFs we could go right into HubSpot. So if it's not needed on this 3rd one up and convert MSI designed email templates from PDF to HTML, might be needed. So that could just be crossed out, right? We'll just have to see. Was planning on weekly meetings with the 3 teams for about 8 weeks, couple of months, that we're just making sure that something's get done, right? And figuring an hour to meet, an hour to prep. So that was what that was. And just a rough number. Now what I want to do is I'm going to have Fayez from One Metric come back on, and he has like these like really details on the time, and I'll go back to the estimates. But the most thing is he just wanted to make some assumptions that were made here, and I'll let you kind of talk through it. Fayez, okay?
Yeah, definitely, right. So I'm basically going to walk you through the scope we have put together, and then I'll go into enough detail so you can actually picture what this will look like inside HubSpot once it is implemented, right? So, and I'm going to focus purely on the HubSpot implementation and enablement, meaning that what we will configure in HubSpot, how it will sort of work in day-to-day basis, and then what we will hand off to your internal team, and the different vendors that we have. So, and on the basis of my conversation so far, and what I've understood, so the outcomes, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? So the outcomes that you're looking for are, first is that you're currently sending some generic newsletters, but then you want sort of segmentation across these 7 to 10 channel partner groups. So each group sort of receives the most relevant content, right? I think that's priority number one, if I'm not wrong. uh, Another thing that I got to know was that you want lead scoring. So engagement, it isn't just opens and clicks, but let's say, a score that shows you which one is high intent, which one is low intent, and then we can set this lead scoring ourselves, right? Another thing, is you want HubSpot audiences to sync into Google Ads and Meta Ads. So email plus these paid campaigns, it sort of stays aligned, right? So we'll have 2 different channels through which we can target them, right? There's Google Ads, Meta Ads, and then email on top of that, right? And then the last one is you want basic internal alerts. So let's say when the engagement is sort of high, the right people are notified, and I think that's where the sales team really comes in. We can just let them know that we have a super high engaging prospect, and then now is the time to maybe give them a call or shoot them an email. So this is what I sort of understand is other outcomes that you're looking for. Is that a fair summary, or do you guys want to maybe add something or maybe highlight something?
I think that's fine. I do have a question about notifying the sales team. Is that only going to be one contact that gets that notification, or based on let's say if can we have it set up for, like, if someone's in Florida, they'll get that lead. If
Yeah.
someone's in, okay.
It can be on region based as well. It can be round robin as well. And we can put in certain logics behind it, right? So maybe, uh, we give a specific lead score. So let's say the highest score lead goes to like a senior rep, and then maybe a lesser score leads goes to somebody who's slightly less senior, like a junior guy. So we control those logics, and in HubSpot, we can set them up as per how you guys want it.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So, I'll focus on the scope now, right? So what you're seeing here is bucket A is the core HubSpot setup. So uh, this is, it basically, prevents a messy portal down the line. So in this phase, what we're going to be doing is, we're configuring the portal properly, things like account settings, time zone, user roles and permissions, basic stuff. And then we're going to be setting up those email sending correctly. So things like domain authentication, SPF, DMARC. So the deliverability is sort of stable, right? Because you're going to be sending out emails through HubSpot. On top of that, we're going to be setting up some compliance basics, things like subscription types, suppression logic. So you're not just emailing people who shouldn't be emailed, right? So we're going to be setting up certain basic compliance for that as well. And then we basically, going to create the minimum required CRM property framework. It's basically, all the essential fields that we need to capture so that we can use those for segmentations and the reporting, right? So this is basically what we're gonna be covering in this core setup, right? So we're not just trying to create a very perfect CRM in phase one. We are just we're gonna be focusing on building the minimum clean structure which is needed to make those segmentations and scoring and those ads sync work, right? So that's the core goal of this.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Moving on, bucket B is the audience architecture. So I mean, and I think this is the main use case here. So when we say 10 audiences, we are not talking about an idea. We are actually talking about real HubSpot assets. So this is where we're going to be building out those active lists inside HubSpot. So these active lists are something that gets updated automatically when these contact properties or let's say some behavior changes, right? So it's an active list, so it changes dynamically, right? So each list has a sort of like an explicit logic to it. For example, a logic could be channel partner is equals to like partner A, and if that partner A, shows in product interest includes, let's say, countertops, and let's say contact is not opted out, or let's say it's not suppressed, those lists, it sort of becomes the recipient list for marketing emails, right? And this is how we're going to be setting up these logics inside HubSpot to make sure we have the right active list. So what you're going to be seeing inside HubSpot is, like different list with, let's say list one is partner A is countertops, partner B is, let's say, flooring, or partner C can be something else, right? And so on. So this is the thought behind it. And this is exactly something that's going to solve you for this entire move from from generic newsletters to more of like a targeted partner messaging, right? So this is what is covered in the second phase, audience architecture and lead scoring. And then it's lead scoring is exactly like I explained earlier. So we create one primary score to start with. So the score has two different parts. First one is the fit. We're going to be focusing on who they are. Let's say, is it like a trade, or let's say a consumer, depending on, let's say, region, partner type, etc., etc. And then the second part is going to be engagement, right? So by engagement, we mean what they did. Did they clicked an email, or let's say they filled up a form, or they visited some of our key pages. So that's how the score is going to be split, right? Then we set thresholds. So this becomes like a collaborative exercise, and we're going to be sitting with you to discuss how that scoring works. And but what you're going to be seeing is you'll have clear visibility on which lead or has higher intent, and what score means engaged for you. So we're going to be defining those exact terms for you guys in this lead scoring. I'll take a pause and see if you guys have any questions. I've been speaking a lot. Any questions so far, guys?
We don't have any questions.
Okay, and is it in the like same lines how you were envisioning your setup to look like inside HubSpot?
Yes.
I have a question. How do you, so we have a list of about 70,000 contacts. I think it's 70,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we go about understanding the personas or the channel or whatever terminology you want to use? Like, how would you go about, because we may not know today, what channel they are, right? How do you go about ascertaining that with the existing list.
One thing that I'll
So
just, I'll let you continue on what I'm going to say, Fayez, is that existing list. I know that I've seen it, and it does have some of it is segmented and some of it's not. And then when I see that database, and I just ignore the segmentation because it's, and what I'm doing it for mainly for Google Ads, but we just put that in as customer list, right? So it does have some segmentation now. So there is some of that that's going to be segmented pretty easily, right? We're just going to sort it and segment. It's going to be not that difficult. But the other part's going to be, as I understand it, that so if HubSpot sees an email or sees a name or sees a title, it's going to tie that to a company, to an industry, to a segment, right? One of our segments. And that's how it worked. That was one thing I was most excited about when I heard about this, was going to work, right? And that's how I understand it. And then Fayez, you maybe have a little bit more experience at this than we do. Kind of explain maybe off what I just said. So go ahead.
I might not have like an accurate answer for this now. I think that would majorly depend on once we see that list, right? Because we'll have to see if there are any unique identifiers, or we'll just have to see in what state that list is today. Are there any things that will help us segment those, right? So maybe once we have, let's say, like a sample data set, I can maybe get back to you with an accurate answer on how we're going to be doing the segmentation inside HubSpot. So yeah, something that.
Yeah, as I understand it, and this is that I understand it, that it does going to automatically segment, and we can also, if we wanted to gin it up a little bit, then we can use some AI, and also try to determine those emails and those names, who that's going to be. So we'll figure out how to segment it for sure. And but I do know that HubSpot will auto segment for us over time. It doesn't instantly do it. It's a little, as I understand it, it's kind of like it works on it, so to speak. So
HubSpot has their own auto enrichment tool as well. So if you're missing out on, let's say, emails, or it's an outdated one, then HubSpot has its first layer of enrichment that happens inside the CRM itself, right? And in some cases, if you're not able to find it, then there are other tools available, let's say Zoom Info or Apollo, that we can just import a list in those tools and then have them just clean up.
That's thanks for bringing up Zoom Info, because that's something that we wanted to use to backfill some data. So right now, hopefully we can, we plan to be able to get that 70,000 segmented, but we could also go to Zoom Info and backfill any retail flooring vendors, for instance, fabricators, for instance. We can get a database of fabricators to backfill, and that I learned that on a call with HubSpot, that they could separate those for us. So we don't have anybody on HubSpot specifically here to confirm that for us, but we can get confirmation on that. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
I think.
Go ahead, Spiders.
Yeah, I'll just try to wrap it up, right? So then the bucket C you see here, Google Ads and Meta Ads integration. So what we do here is connect the HubSpot to the Google Ads and Meta Ads account. We're going to be enabling the CRM audience syncing. So it's a feature inside HubSpot, and then basically map and validate that the list we are built inside HubSpot are actually syncing and populating. And then we're just going to be, let's say, documenting the setup. So let's say your extended team, your partners can run campaigns against those audiences, right? So so the workflow becomes HubSpot list updates, then the audience updates in Google Meta automatically, and then the ad team, it sort of targets the updated audience without them doing a manual export, right? So we're not running campaigns or building creatives in this scope. This is purely enablement. So the paid media team can be, they can execute their side properly. So yeah. And
Yeah,
then
It's giving us an
Bucket D
audience,
is, yeah, Bucket D is more on the workflows and notifications. So uh, I mean, I think you guys spoke about alerts when engagement sort of crosses certain actions. Let's say like visiting some key pages or clicking certain emails. So in HubSpot terms, we build up, let's say, up to 10 HubSpot native workflows. And each workflow includes some entry criteria and an action, right? So entry criteria can be the score crosses certain threshold. Then the action could be, let's say, email notification to an internal owner that create a task for them, or let's say add them to a different list, like a hot list, or maybe set a new property against it. And then we sort of QA those workflows so you don't making sure that everything is running smoothly. And this is exactly what turns HubSpot from, let's say, like a database into an actual action engine. So yeah, I mean, that's it. And then Bucket is more on the template side. Uh, One area that I want to clarify, because it often gets misunderstood. So I think MSI scope that I saw, it indicates that the campaign creation, copywriting, design is that's not on the HubSpot side, right, Bob? I think that's going to be something that you'll own, right?
Yeah, so I'll work with MSI and then we'll develop these templates. And then what we're going to want to do in the team, MSI was Kiyama and Sharita kind of asking about it. But yeah, so we'll want to take a design and then we're going to incorporate that into the HubSpot email template, right?
Yeah.
And then like that,
Yeah.
most likely the heading will stay the same. Maybe like our photos will be kind of here. It'll have a format, right, and a look. And it will establish what that is, and then we'll give you a design, and then that's the design that you're going to implement to the HubSpot template. That makes sense?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So our role here will be taking those approved designs and those copy inputs, and then building those email templates properly inside HubSpot. And we're going to be setting up those personalization tokens inside those email templates to make sure that we make those personalized. And then QA do a basic QA for mobile and desktop, and then handing it off so you guys can use those templates and send those emails repeatedly. So yeah.
And
Perfect.
just to build off what he was saying is like with HubSpot, you get dynamic lists. So as like he was saying, as leads come in, so on, those lists will build. So it's not static lists where you always have to keep constantly uploading. It will automatically adjust compared to the filters and so on. They get pushed in. The workflows, like you said, is amazing. You can notify people. There's also lead scoring. So if you know what you want to trigger, so if they click on these certain emails, they open this, they can set lead scoring. So then you can get alerts. Okay, this guy is a yellow. That means he's right on the verge that he wants to buy or whatever. Or a green. That means you have to reach out to him right away. And they can also alert the sales staff. Go, look, he's a green. He scores like 50 or 60 or 70, whatever he wants to scale up. He's a hot lead. You got to reach out to them, right? So this way, you're not just reaching out to anybody that you don't want to reach out to somebody who's in a low score or red because they're not ready to buy or grow the business. So you don't want to reach out to them. And then also with the templates, like they can set the templates up so it's easier for you to reproduce later on to create new content. So with HubSpot, it delivers more than just an email platform, and that's where you're going to get the value out of this tool.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And let's just finishing up, Fayez, with your training.
Yeah. And this is the final part, the enablement part, and this is where we're going to be running those role-based training. So MSI, it isn't really dependent on external teams for very basic operations, right? So we're going to be having a session for the MSI internal owners. So things like setting up list, how do we send emails, some basic reporting stuff, and then other things, other sessions for, let's say, how do we execute a campaign inside HubSpot, uh, how do we change something inside segmentations, things like these, and then one session for maybe the key stakeholders and what to monitor, and what's normal, uh, uh, where exactly can we optimize more. So we also provide recordings and some simple playbooks, so the system can be maintained without a lot of dependency on some external team or a partner, right? So yeah, I mean, that's basically what we cover in the training part.
Any questions on the implementation on one metric, MSI team?
I do. So, exactly how many post going live trainings do we receive? And then how many trainings are we doing, I guess, before we go live?
Yeah, so I mean, these are 2 to 3 live sessions, training sessions, and these can be, let's say, 90 minutes each. And then, I mean, if needed more, then happy to accommodate a couple of more sessions as well. So we are flexible with that. And then in terms of post go live, we usually stick around for, let's say, 1 to 2 week, if there are some ad hoc questions, right? If those are not major implementation tasks that might come up, if those are just basic questions and navigations or some clarification that is needed, we are happy to stick around for, let's say, a week or 2 weeks to help you guys. Yeah, so that's about it.
And how long do you think a typical implementation takes? This looks like 5 weeks, but I think that's low, right?
I mean, see, it really depends on how deep we want to go into segmentations and how deep the workflows are going to be. But then, like, let's say, like, a safe timeline would be somewhere around uh, 6 to 8 weeks, I would say. I mean, this includes, of course, the testing, the final testing before handover, and making sure that training is done. So this is a, let's say, like a rough range. Of course, it can vary by a week or so, and then yeah, and the best part is, it's not like you have to wait for the complete build to get ready and then your team can use it. Uh, the way we're going to be doing the implementation is we're gonna be running this in batches. So let's say once the basic setup is done, the team can start using it. Can start exploring the CRM, and then we move on to section B, section C. So it's not like we're waiting for the entire 6 to 8 weeks to get the implementation done, and then the team can use it. So, but yeah, from a timeline perspective, this is what we have seen. 6 to 8 weeks is normal.
And then is there anything that's on this list that is duplicative of what Bob had on his list, or they're running in parallel?
I could kind of answer that. So yeah, just I put in like the portion that I'm going to be involved with, kind of understanding that they're going to be leading on this, but I'm going to have to be the bridge again. Not have to be, but want to participate, make sure they have everything that they need, right? And that we're kind of getting it all together, and be the one that's making sure that we have everything together, so I could give it off to Fayez's team, right? So, but yeah, that'd be the only reason that'd be duplicative, Al, is for that reason, and that's kind of how I put it. I'm going to go back to the presentation, so I'm going to try to get everybody off as close as I can to the time that that you guys gave me. Okay. So I think we went through one metric, and they kind of covered. I'll send this to the team, and this again is a rough estimate of what their the figures that we're kind of putting together right here is what we're estimating. And then we probably want to have a initial meeting and kind of go together. It sounds like, based on the discussions you guys are asking so far, then we're right on track and not any changes on the estimate. But I think it's a good idea to just have a final, go through, and everybody's on the same page with agreement on what Fayez is talking about. what we're implementing and nothing's getting added on, right? And then we should be able to stick with our estimates. And if he doesn't have any technical difficulties on the domain, on other things that he might need in the back end, then those are just only things that, we can't control, right? But if everything goes smoothly, then we should be in this range. Like we say, implementation, Fayez kind of hitting it, about 90 days, but hopefully we can go, he's mentioning maybe even less than that, 60. So let's see how it goes. Reporting optimization, tracking the visits, form submissions, analyzing performance, monitoring the conversions, and then you're going to be optimizing the campaigns in the future. This is everything that MSI is going to receive: fully configured CRM, 10 segments, email templates, lead scoring, training sessions, notification scoring framework for channel partner, validating that data, the segmented, getting the CRM ads, and then the hub. We want to get a dashboard for you that MSI could go in and look at what's happening, leads, traffics, conversions. Okay, that's what you're going to receive. Experience weekly sessions for 8 weeks, kind of what we're figuring to align the teams, review progress, set next actions, structured phases that we can get setup, segmentation, launch, and get all that in sequence. Dashboard previews, and then a soft launch like we talked about. And Jeffrey talked about the license, and I know that they're, we can talk about that. I don't know the pricing that you've gotten, MSI's gotten yet, but we can definitely get that. So it's need to talk about that's something that we can, look into it for you. Let us know. Go ahead.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
No, I hear you.
Sorry, it froze. So 70,000. So basically you're saying that Jeffrey, because of his relationship with HubSpot, was able to negotiate these prices. Is that what you're saying?
No, this is, we don't have your pricing now. So we're just going off of retail. This is retail retail pricing and just guesstimates of what we're showing. And we know that they have the onboarding fee of $7K, and they're charging $3,600 for 70,000 contacts. Plus, if you're doing core seats, I don't know how many core seats you're doing. View seats are free. So we need to know, you let us know what your need, core seats, view seats, and we know what you're talking about, 70,000 leads to start. And we understand the onboarding fee already exists. So we just need to get the details, what you guys want, mainly the core seats.
But hold on. Let's assume that we want to go with what's on the screen. Is it 61,000?
That's retail. We're going to get it off this price. This is, we're showing retail price, and that's a year.
And then how do we find out what the true price is?
Jeff needs to get with HubSpot, and we need to know how many core seats you're going to need. Like I say, anybody to go in and view it, like let's say Root, for instance, then that doesn't count as a seat. But like Kiyama, Jess, where they're going to be doing work, Sharita, anybody's going to be doing work in there, core seats. So has that been determined by the team?
How many core seats do we need?
I think we need about 6 core seats.
6 core seats.
Okay, so 6 core seats, and we have the 70,000 records that we know that we're going to have. And I think anything else that you need, Jeffrey, then to negotiate, to give us a WSI price on that?
Just that they give you something in writing saying, hey, we're allowed to negotiate on their behalf for pricing. Because if we have from the client, from you guys, then HubSpot will go ahead and negotiate the price with me. So they'll be able to give me a better price for you guys.
I'm sorry, you broke up. What do you need from us?
Oh, just like you can send an email to Bob, just saying, hey, I'm authorizing you guys to work on our behalf to try and negotiate a deal with HubSpot. That's all we need. Because then HubSpot will say, okay, yeah, we'll talk with you guys about negotiating the price for MSI, and then I can get you a better deal.
And then did you say 6 seats, Kiyama?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you are Al, just shoot me a quick email. Hey, please come back to us with WSI pricing for that for 6 core seats, and simple email and from HubSpot, and then that's all that we need, that we have, because we just can't go negotiate without them, without some sort of approval from MSI, right? And that's
Okay,
all we
got
need.
it.
Simple email, and then almost done here, guys. So the rough estimate, this will be different on the HubSpot, again, to be determined. Those are rough consulting fees right there. My consulting fee, implementation fee, estimated total estimates, and then implement future, the future things that you might want to do, right? Then we just have to, this TBD, right? We're just talking about what we're working on right now. And then last slide, we can negotiate that final pricing for you, get back to you. And then we'll want to set up that meeting really to kind of go through maybe another hour. We kind of set this foundationally and get your buy-in that there's nothing, we have everything covered, right? Then we could finalize the proposal and get started, okay? Then we'll plan on the.
Can you go
Go ahead,
back?
Al.
Sorry. I'm sorry, were you done on this slide? Yeah.
The-
So implementation, that's one metric. I saw them at 16 to 22,000. How did this go from 19 to 29,000?
And hey, Al, let me send you the final, because just to be honest with the team, we've been kind of trying to get the numbers just squared around. I thought I got them squared around and they aligned. If they don't, I apologize, because we've been kind of in a short window, right? Let me confirm everything and let me send this to you before you take it as gospel, okay? I'll send this to you right after the call. I'll just double check the numbers.
And then I'm just curious, how does WSI get compensated? Do you guys pay them?
Yes, I pay. We have a they're about close to $1,000 a month from us on what we do with them. So
from your fee and from One Metric's fee, there's a certain percentage that goes to WSI?
I would assume definitely from me, and I can't comment on that, but then also I think that they they negotiate with these vendors and how all that works, but getting the best deal for us. So
Well, that's fine. I just want to understand it. You don't need to tell me the amount, but Jeffrey, is that the way it works? The One Metric?
Yeah, there's no charge to you guys from us. Like, we don't charge you guys anything. The prices that Bob gets, like the price we work out with HubSpot, that's what you're paying, right? You're not paying us anything. We're there to support Bob. Bob, and hence he'll pay us for helping him out.
Yeah. So, right, so from the consulting fee, and what about the One Metric fee? Do they have to pay you as well?
Well, One Metric, they work with our network, right? They support. They give. What we get from them is the support that we get for our people on our network, right? So we don't really charge. We don't really charge them for anything being in our network. It's just that they're here so we can connect them to the right people like Bob to help Bob.
Got it. So your economics comes from the consulting Bob part.
Yes.
And what about from HubSpot? Do they give you any type of commission?
No, with HubSpot, because we're partners with them, right? So, but Bob helping connecting people with us, but then we also do our own sales directly to clients too. So besides supporting people like Bob with his clients, we also have our own direct clients, and then HubSpot would compensate us when we bring our own direct clients.
Say that again, HubSpot, what? You got cut off.
So sorry, with HubSpot, right? So we have the partnership with HubSpot. So when we bring our own direct clients to HubSpot, HubSpot will give us something. We don't charge that with Bob. But when we get that deal, like whatever price you're seeing, right? It's not being raised up for anything from HubSpot to pay us. We're just here to get you the best price, right? But if we bring our own clients to HubSpot, HubSpot still gives us a good price and still gives us something in the end, like a little bit of a commission. But our goal is to get the client the best price and to help people like Bob not work.
Got it. So yeah, I understand. Okay, sounds good. Anything else, team?
That's why we try to be transparent with you guys, because you can see the pricing online for HubSpot, and that's why Bob put the pricing here. the transparent part, but our deal is to try to get you lower than what you see online.
Got it. Okay.
Awesome. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for taking the time. I can't believe that we got that done in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Hey, so I'll prep this up. I'll prep this and send this, and then Kiyama just shoot that email. We'll try to get some pricing up. It's and then also I know that's in the quarter. There might be some deals that he can that Jeffrey could bring out that that might be like quick, but might be timely for you as well. So you work on that, Jeffrey. See if that's available. And then get back to us. That would be great. And then I'll get this off to the team. And thanks again, everyone. And we'll be talking soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.